Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be breaking down some subscriber submitted gameplay. And today's video comes from Bad Cheetah, who's a subscriber to the Hold That Tiger Gaming channel, and he sent us a video clip of a 13 kill second place solo game that he played in. So we're going to be breaking down the video today, looking at what he does well, looking at what he could do better. So it looks like off the jump he's planning on going to Scav that's downtown, but he has somebody in front of him that he's going to try to shoot out the air, but he doesn't quite get him there. So he changes his focus back to going to the Scav, but he's also starting to get shot at, probably from the guy that just shot him. Now he might be trying to get away from this guy that's shooting at him, or sees that the Scav that he originally marked was a little hot, so he's gonna head over to farmland to try to pick up a Scav that's over there. A lot of times in solos, well, in any mode really, the Scavs are pretty heavily contested. Every once in a while you could find one that you don't get contested. It's great to start off with a Scav, because if you do, you usually have enough money to grab you a loadout early and get started. Now, as you saw here, he landed on the Scav uncontested, but it did tell him that he had an enemy that landed, so he knew that somebody was there. But fast forward in the gameplay, it turns out that the enemy didn't come around them, they never saw each other. He was able to finish his Scav, and he also picked up a red access card. The Scav didn't give him quite enough money for a loadout, so he heads to the bunker, uses his red access card, and this is going to give him plenty of money, plenty of perks.
Requesting recon.
So as you can see, the bunker ended up giving him an advanced UAV, and he also has $20,000 now, so he has plenty of money, and he has the added advantage of knowing where everybody's at on the map. Now, an advanced UAV is going to pick up every single person on the entire map, that's whether they ghosted or not, unless they're in your immediate area. It's important to remember that even an advanced UAV will not pick up a ghosted player if they're close to you. So Cheetah sees somebody, and this guy plays this completely terrible. And he should be running into a house for cover right now, or doing something, putting more shots into him. But he does neither one, really. He stands there, and then Cheetah's able to get the easiest kill you ever gonna get in the game. That was completely poorly played by that guy. So now he's up to almost $23,000. And if I was him right here, I'd be looking for a buy station, trying to grab my loadout as quick as possible. And another thing I would probably be doing is, if you don't have an objective going, no scav, no recon, no whatever, and there's a bounty sitting there, I'd pick that thing up. If anything, just to give you a mark of where somebody's at on the map. So if this was me in this situation, I'd definitely pick up the bounty. Whether you go after it or not is up to you. Depends if you want to play super aggressive or not. But now Cheetah has a truck on it, and you'll see right here, this is how the other guy should have played it whenever Cheetah was running him over. Cheetah's constantly moving out the way, constantly moving around, getting shots into the truck, throwing a Semtex at the truck, and eventually the guy, his truck was probably heavily damaged, so he has to get out in a spot where Cheetah can just easily pick him off and get another kill. So you saw a poor play from an enemy that was outside of a vehicle, and then you just saw a poor play from an enemy that was inside a vehicle. But on the flip side, they were both solid plays by Cheetah. So now we have the loadout that drops, and he also has a buy station right by it. Now, again, if this was me, I'd be grabbing the loadout, buying another loadout, and then you would still have $17,000 left for UAVs, self-revives, whatever you want. Some players don't prioritize running ghosts, especially in solos, which is fine if you
Requesting recon.
if you're gonna be the one that's constantly playing aggressive and pushing people,
I need
then
recon on my position.
ghost isn't quite as important. So you're gonna see here he elects not to buy the loadout. Instead, he buys a self-revive and 4 UAVs, and he pops in advance, and then he grabs his loadout. So looks like he's running the M13, and his secondary gun is the SPR. Now he has this UAV up, and he knows where enemies are at, and he's tracking one down now. He has the benefit right here of knowing exactly where the guy is. He sees him come out of the building and run around and kills him before the guy even realizes that he's there. So now he's sitting on $4,000. He's about to pick up more from this guy. And Cheetah's doing a great job so far. In solos especially, you want to have a UAV up, because there's people that just sit in houses and they sit there all game. So you're going to see him go here, buy another UAV, pop it immediately, and he's putting a mark on where an enemy's at, which is an absolute great play, because chances are, if he's red dotting in that area and he's not moving, especially in solos, he's probably not going to move. So if the UAV runs out, he still has that mark to tell him exactly where the enemy was. So that's what he does. Then he starts making his way to that house to go work on getting the kill. And he can see right here, the enemy actually did move out of the house on the last run of the UAV. So now he's heartbeating to check where he's at. And it looks like he moved into the next yellow house ahead. Now Gaz is eventually going to push this guy out, so most likely he has no idea that Cheetah's lurking right here. And you see him pop out in front, and it's another kill from an enemy because you had a UAV up and they weren't sure where you were at. So now he's sitting again. He has $7,500, enough for one UAV, but he also picks up a precision off of this guy. So he's set up nicely. He has 4 kills. We in the second circle of the game, so it's not a bad start. The red bunker kind of slowed him down from playing super aggressive early, but on the other hand, it allowed him to get a lot more money and to get set up better to be able to chase down some of these kills. Now you'll see right here, he picks up an enemy on the heartbeat. I don't know if it was a red dot there on the UAV before and he just remembered it, or if it was just a lucky pull of the heartbeat where he saw the enemy. Now this is where some criticism will come in on this one. He's constantly checking the heartbeat right here. The enemy's in that house. He's not going anywhere. If this guy looks out the window and sees you while you have the heartbeat out, chances are your eyes are going to be on the heartbeat and not on the enemy. So if that guy in the house was paying a little bit more attention, Cheetah might have not won that fight. But ends up, guy jumps out the window, he wins the fight anyway. And you're going to see another example right here of what I'm talking about with the heartbeat. It's going to pull it out right here. And anything that the heartbeat would pick up in this area, you'd be able to see with your eyes. So it's not going to reach out into areas that you can't see whenever you're looking out this doorway right here. So running with the heartbeat out right there is pretty much not doing a whole lot of anything for you. So if there's one area that you can criticize Cheetah's gameplay right here, maybe something he could improve on, it would be not relying on the heartbeat so much. Now see right here with the heartbeat, that's not a bad check because there could be somebody camping in this bank, camping in the house. So he checks it, sees that it's clear. And another thing to remember is that we're at a point in the game where people could be running ghosts, so the heartbeat's not going to be 100% reliable. Now he goes in bank, he grabs the bounty, which is a great move. Like we had talked about earlier, even if you aren't going to chase down the bounty and you're not playing that aggressive, at least it gives you an idea of where somebody's at. So we see right here, we got the bounty behind him. He's going to have to come almost directly to him because Gaz is about to move in. And you see he has a red dot on his left as well. So somebody was shooting on the left. So the play right here, you can do one of two things. He could have gotten to that building and held the high ground on his bounty and shot him as he came in. Or he has time to where he could move into the circle, get himself safe, and his bounty still has to come to him. Either option you pick,
on my position.
Neither one's bad.
UAV entering the AO.
And it looks like he picks the option of moving into the circle to wait for the bounty to come to him. Now, another thing to be mindful of, and it looks like he's aware of it. We know that there was a person on the left of him, and we see that red dot. There's also a person on the right. And pulling up the UAV that he just popped, there's 3 people around where his bounty are at. So he has one on the right, one on the left, and he has his bounty plus 2 others that'll be coming back towards him. So you can get picked off from a lot of areas right here. It looked like the guy on the right was continuing to move right, so he's probably safe from him. And the 3 people with the bounty, chances are they'll pick off each other along the way. So you might not have 3 people coming, but there's a possibility to get sandwiched from the right, from the left, and from a lot of people running behind you right here. So the bounty's now in a situation where he has to come directly at Cheetah. The gas is pushing him in. Cheetah's in circle, so he's just going to wait right here and hold that guy. But again, we have to be mindful of those other red dots that were on the map. Because if those guys push up and to the right to where Cheetah's at, then they might be able to pick him off from a side that he wasn't aware of. So, you see the bounty moving closer, and just as I said, the guy that was on his left pushed up, and he started moving right. Luckily for Cheetah, the guy was pretty bad. Cheetah was able to spin around and pick him off. So now, he turns his attention back to the bounty, who's coming right up to him right here. And you'll see the bounty has no choice but to just barrel forward and hope for the best. And it doesn't turn out well for him. So this was a great play by Cheetah right here.
Well done.
So now we're looking at 7 kills, tons of money, and we're gonna move forward. Which you got 2 options right here. With all that money, you can try to buy you a loadout if running Ghost is your priority, or you also have an opportunity to grab more UAVs and get an idea of where people are at on the map. Depends how you want to play. So Cheetah's gonna go right here with the route of buying a UAV,
on my position.
and he goes ahead and he's gonna pop another advanced UAV, which I think this is like the 3rd one that he gets in this game, which is quite amazing to be honest. So he's holding the UAV in pocket right here. There's 2 airstrikes sitting in the ground. He sees that a guy's coming up to him. Guy has no clue he's there, and he gets another super easy kill simply because he's been running UAVs most of the game. So he's set up right here again. He has money,
on my position.
and he pops his other UAV since he can buy another one, and keeps that advanced UAV up longer. Now he still has those 2 airstrikes sitting right here. He's just gonna randomly throw one in the area that he saw red dots. Hope for the best, but he's not doing much right here except getting rid of that airstrike on the ground. Now instead of buying a UAV right here, he elects to hold on to his precision. Now right here, you see we have a red dot in the house to our right, and he has an enemy on that roof that he just put the airstrike on. So you got to be very mindful right here, because you know that there's 2 people. One was in the White House, and one was in the house with the airstrike. He's checking heartbeats right here. I don't know if he missed that the guy was in the White House shooting, but he definitely wasn't in police. So he needs to be mindful, because if that guy's looking out the White House at him right now, then he would have probably been dead. So right here, you see he has a good ways to go, and it looks like he's gonna do the gas play right here, which ideally isn't usually your best move. I prefer getting into the circle early so that you don't get hailed and you don't have to fight 2, 3, 4 people, however many are coming in from the guys with you. But right here, he doesn't have much of a choice because, again, we have those 2 guys that are right here, and he's not sure where they at anymore. So just running straight into the circle right here would have probably resulted in him getting killed because those guys would have been able to see him and pick him off. Now it turns out one of these 2 idiots, I don't know where one of them went, but one of them is just going to go take a nap in the rocks right here, which you're going to see in a second. Right now he's looking for the one that he put the airstrike on. And here's our guy laying in the rocks, and it really doesn't get much easier than that. So there's still one other guy, and we aren't exactly sure where he went. He could have died. He could have moved up early. He's not sure, but Cheetah's checking with the heartbeat to try to see where he's at. Now you see him complaining because the circle's not being very kind to him right now. And this is true. Running into dams, there's people that could be all over up there with high ground on him, and he's not in the greatest spot. Now, he just sniped at an enemy that was laying in the rocks, and he also just got sniped at from a different area. So, right now, his attention should probably be on the guy that's in the rocks since he had him pinned there. But the guy in the rocks doesn't seem to be too concerned with him anyway. And right now, if he would be paying attention, he would have had clean shots on Cheetah, because you'll see in a second that he just stayed in the rocks. And also, he gets shot from a guy in the rocks. That's what we were talking about with the bad position. Those guys had high ground on him, and it was easy snipes. Now, a lucky break for Cheetah. The guy wasn't concerned about coming finish him off. He just lets himself res, and he's able to get right back into the game. So now, we saw the guy that sniped us. He's up there on the right. We still have the enemy that's laying in the rocks to our left, and we're not quite sure where he went at this point. But at least we have an idea of where one guy's at. And Cheetah's going to go ahead and grab a UAV right here since he has the money.
Online.
He pops it, he buys another, and then this guy has to jump off the roof, and Cheetah's able to beam him. And you'll hear Cheetah saying right there, and he's exactly right, you should have finished me. It was a terrible play from that guy. I don't know if he just wasn't paying attention and didn't notice that he only had a down, but either way, Cheetah gets the ultimate kill, and the guy's out of the game because of a poor play. Now he sees on the UAV that our boy that was in the rocks earlier is still sitting in the rocks. It's a horrible play by this guy. Don't know what he was thinking, because he has minimal cover there, and to move into the circle, he has to run across the wide-ass open right there. So this guy's chances of survival, because he stayed right there, is very, very slim. As you can see, Cheetah snipes him, gets the easy kill. So now we have 4 people left, including Cheetah. And if you ever played solos, it's a trend with these assholes that ride around in the Berthas at the end game. And that's exactly what this guy's doing. And you'll see he comes try to run over Cheetah here. Cheetah's trying to put shots in him. But this is super annoying. The C4 nerf ended up being a massive buff for the Berthas, because it's so hard to hit somebody that's in a Bertha, and it's so hard to blow somebody up. Now, in this spot, if Cheetah did have 2 C4s on him, he could have blown up that truck, which would have taken him out and ultimately gave him the win in the end. So now there's 3 other people left. We know that one's on the UAV. We know that one jackass is riding around in the truck, so there's just one left that we don't know where he's at. Now Cheetah finally gets a good break with the circle right here, because he knows those guys are going to have to jump off and head into the circle. And as you'll see right here, he sees him jump off, and he's able to pick him off. And just so happens that the guy that's ghosted that didn't know where he was at was also right here. Now, it's 2 left. Cheetah stuck going against the truck. He's trying best he can to blow it up, but unfortunately, there's not a whole lot he can.
Of course, there's always
But-
a dickhead in a truck.
Overall, it was a great gameplay by Cheetah. He ended up with 13 kills in the second place. Not much you could do about that truck. That'll do it for today's video. If you liked the video, learned something new, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button.